Hi everyone, I'm Nicola and today's video is about mental health and returning from lockdown. Lockdown is coming to an end for us in the UK and it is about time. It's an exciting time, but it's also a big change, and change is anxiety inducing for all of us really. It doesn't matter how excited we are and how hopeful we are about it. A lot of us feel safe in our little cocoons and our safety bubbles that we've made for ourselves, and that's been really good. But you know, there is going to be an element of kind of leaning into that anxiety a little bit as we expand our comfort zones again, so that we can start doing the things that we did before and that we enjoyed before and we've just gotten so used to not doing now. There are things that we can do to make this transition easier. We can focus on the things that we are actually in control of, rather than the things that other people are doing around us. So we can be in control of the amount of things we say yes to and how we spend our time. We can allow ourselves to pace ourselves, you know, to ease into it gently. Maybe say yes to one thing a week, or one thing a fortnight, or one thing a month if it's really, really hard for you to get back into. Maybe choose things to do that are close to home or in a location that you feel really familiar in. Just all of that stuff is going to help ease the anxiety as we get back into things. We can't control what other people are doing around us. People still don't seem to understand or care about social distancing, and people still don't know to put their noses inside the masks. We can't control that, but we can control what we say yes to, how we spend our time, and making decisions based on what we feel comfortable with. We can talk about it, talking about it to other people and people around us, and letting them know that we feel anxious about this pretty anxiety-inducing situation. It really helps, because often when we offload about it and another person admits that they're also feeling the same way, you know, it's easy to think when we see other people acting like they're living their best lives and they're really happy now that this has happened. There's a lot going on, you know, beneath the surface that we don't always see or hear about. Talking about it means that we can get that additional support that might not have actually been there before. I think having a plan for returning to work is a really big thing. We can't just be expected to jump straight back in when we've been out of that routine for so long. You know, ideally we would go back one day a week to start with, or 2 days a week, to see how it feels and to get used to that routine of, it takes so much longer to get ready in the morning because there's so much that we need to do. We can't just roll out of bed and start working, you know, there's all this preparation that needs to be done. I think it's so important to stress that this isn't just a personal preference. Like, this is taking control of our mental health, and our mental health has taken such a bashing in the last year that we need to look after our mental health. It needs some TLC. So, you know, easing ourselves back into work is a really key part of that. And, you know, maybe going to work for half a day or starting later so that you could change the commute and have a slightly less stressful commute. You know, if you're in London and you've got to take the tube, if there's a different way that you can get there, you know, try and do that, because anything we can do to minimize that anxiety is going to really help us get back into it without feeling too overwhelmed. And I think reintroducing activities gradually is going to be really crucial as well. If you're someone like me and you have 10,000 hobbies and you like to do all the things, then it's really exciting that we can start thinking that we can do that again, especially because we don't know how long this is going to last for. If it is going to last forever, it's even more tempting to do all the things as quickly as possible, so that, you know, just in case another lockdown happens. But because we haven't done anything for so long, I think doing just one or two of those things we're going to feel pretty exhausted. We're going to have to pace ourselves a little bit so that we can carry on doing the things that we enjoy, instead of do all of them, get burnt out and run out of energy. This is where it's really great to have a priorities list, get organized, have a priorities list and a calendar. Write down all of the things that you've been wanting to do, and prioritize them. What are the things that you're going to enjoy the most? What are the things that are the most realistic and achievable for you? What are the things that we're actually currently allowed to do? Having all of those lists of priorities and then getting the calendar out and thinking, where am I going to put these things onto my calendar? Spreading them out more than you probably feel like you should. Make sure there's enough time for rest and recovering and seeing family and friends, because that's going to be exhausting as well. We're going to need time to relax after that too. Everyone is different. No matter how much social pressure there is to get out there and do stuff, we've got to find what is going to make you happy and stick to that, because that's how we're going to get through this. So how do you feel about coming out of lockdown? Have you got loads of plans in place, or are you feeling a little bit more apprehensive about things? Let me know in the comments down below. I hope you found this video helpful, and if you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you again next week.